If you are a premium member of the lynda.com training library, you will have access to the exercise files that are used throughout this title. If you are a monthly or annual subscriber to lynda.com, you won't have the exercise files that accompany this tutorial, but you can follow along with me. Everything that's in the exercise files we will create during the tutorials. So as long as you continue to work along with me, your files will exactly mirror what's in the exercise files. Remember that you can pause the video or rewind if you need more time to copy something down. The exercise files for this title are arranged by chapter and by movie. And you can find the exercise files that correspond to the movie that you're watching by first looking for the chapter number and then the movie number. In order to make use of the exercise files, you'll want to first make sure that you install and configure the necessary software, as shown in chapters 2 and 3, that is PHP, MySQL, and the Apache web server. Once you're confident that you have everything installed and configured, then you will want to copy the contents of the exercise files folder into your web document root directory. If you don't know where that is, I show you how to find your document root in the installation chapters. On my Mac, that's going to be inside my user directory, inside the sites directory, which we also create in the installation chapter. It's a good idea to make a copy of the exercise files so that you still have the original to refer back to if you make changes. On my Mac, I will option drag the folder Sandbox over into my sites directory. Now your files will match mine at the start of the movie. Beginning in Chapter 13, we'll be incorporating a database into our project, and for the exercise files to work, your database needs to match what the files expect. In the exercise files for these chapters, you will find a database file that you can load into MySQL to put your database into the same state as mine. If you don't already have a database to load the file into, you'll want to review the beginning of Chapter 13, where we first create our database and set up the necessary permissions. You can load that file directly into a MySQL database either by using a tool such as phpMyAdmin or by going to a command line application such as our terminal and typing in mysql-u followed by a username that has access to the database. We use widget CMS in our examples, -p telling it that we'll be entering a password, followed by the database name, widget corp. Then a less than sign, followed by the path to get to the SQL file that you want to load. You can either type that in by hand, or on the Mac, you can actually drag the file into the terminal and it will output the full path for you. Once you've located the file that you want to load into the database, simply hit return. It will prompt you to enter the password that the username requires to access the database, and then it will update the database with the instructions in that SQL file. Note that the import will remove all old database data at the same time as it imports the new data. Importing can also be useful if you do a lot of experimenting on your own, but then want to get your data back in sync with mine. Once you have the same files and the same database, you'll be able to work right along with me. Don't forget that you can also use the exercise files to check your work as you go along.